trying to make a video. What's up? I'm getting ready to do a leaf cleanup on this property. I've showed you blowing them all to a ditch line or wooded area. I've showed you blowing them all to the truck. I'm going to show you a different method because every property is a little bit different. On this property, I'm actually going to blow them all out, get them to workable space in the yard, and then I actually use a mower to shoot them into a pile. And not that it's a big yard, but it just seems to work real good on this property because it gets a heavy drop in the back with a bunch of oaks. It's actually got a really big oak tree I'll show you in the backyard. So I get a bunch of oak leaves in the back, and then I get maple leaves from this tree up front. And maple leaves are easy to clean up with a mower. They polish up real easy unless they get wet, then they settle down in the grass. Oak leaves, you're just gonna get a mess of them all year long, and yeah, once they get wet, they're not as fun. But when they're dry, they're pretty easy to move, only there's a bunch of them. Now I do have this little choke point right here where I will blow some through here and down the driveway, everything off of here and kind of out of the beds there. So I will kind of choke those into there and blow them down and out onto the driveway and get them into the front yard. But look how big this tree is, man. Okay, so this is this pole top to side. I'm guessing that looks about 6 feet wide. So one in there, pretty big base. So definitely a big tree, real cool root system. I don't know about trees or how healthy or whoa. It makes it real hard to navigate this section, right? Because it's a lot of leaves, a lot of stuff to slip on. Shh. Quiet, Kramer. It's a quiet, Kramer. I'm trying to make a video. Anyways, I'm gonna blow all these leaves out of the bed, out into the yard, mulch them up, and let's just get to it. There's not really a purpose to me doing that there so much, but since I'm walking in the backyard, you always make use of your movement and your time. So here's the thing, when you do leaf removal and you're doing front and back, you always want to start with the back. And the reason being is that when you're cleaning up the leaves in the back and you got them tarped and you're taking them to the front, they're gonna make a mess. They're gonna drop some leaves here and there, and if you've already cleaned the front, you're gonna have to re-clean that. So you want to do that ahead of time. Alright, check this out. See how I'm sticking my arm over that ledge? That's a good way to get some leaves in a tight spot. If I were to walk back there with my blower, it would be kind of hard. This is a pretty cool yard, and I know I mentioned using the mower to shred some stuff up. I didn't do that on this yard. The leaves are so dry right now that it is super easy to move them. So other than fighting the wind a little bit, they're not bad. So I'm not using the mower at the moment. I did do one today that I recorded, shredding up some leaves with the mower. Okay, so in here in this corner, you'll notice there's like some wood and stuff like that. I don't worry about getting every leaf out of there. I used to. A long time ago, I would get every little leaf in the yard, but the thing is, like, man, there's a lot more leaves to drop, right? So, you do it the best you can. You get it really good so that it looks awesome for your client, but you know that you're gonna be back in a week or two, and you're gonna clean up the leaves again, and it's just kind of a repetitive cycle. It's kind of nice because I like that repetitive paycheck. All right, so I'm going to be blowing these leaves out down this side of the garage. There's a big pile in the back that I'm going to tarp up, but you notice the way I put the gate over here? When I walked in, this gate's a real wide gate, and I actually put that up against the chain link so that I could use that to kind of help funnel, help shoot it down the driveway. You'll see right here in a second. But if I hadn't have done that, then it would have just got caught up in between those, between that gate again, and it would have just been kind of going back and forth, cleaning the same thing I just cleaned. Now that's one thing I ran out of gas. That's one thing that you're gonna notice when you do leaf removal. You're gonna clean one spot, you're gonna blow some stuff around, and you're gonna have to come back and you're gonna have to touch up that spot. So when I'm moving leaves, okay, the first initial part of the cleanup is just moving it. You're moving the bulk out of the way. So you'll take 5 feet forward where you're moving the bulk, and then you kind of work back and you are cleaning it up. So you're taking a couple passes over the same area. One's a push pass and one's like a polishing pass. I guess that'd be kind of the best way to put it. So same thing I would do if I was using the mower, though. I am going to get in and get everything out from behind the bushes and up against the house, and in this spot up against the side of the house. The main goal is just to get it to the turf, because once it's to the turf, it's easy to clean up. Alright, I've kind of got this at a stopping point. I'm going to go eat some lunch with Mr. C and Mr. C's Lawn Care on Instagram. Is that right? Alright, we're going to go eat, I don't know, burger, tacos, I don't know, whatever we find. And I'll get back to this in a minute. Alright, we had some Don Francisco tacos. And here comes a jet. Let's get back to birds. At some point in time this winter, you're going to be doing these cleanups and it's not going to seem fun. And just know that the leaves are going to be done soon. Wintertime, you're going to be getting cabin fever, ready to get back out there and cut and take care of some yards again next year. Go sell some new jobs to new clients or previous clients you've had. And the cycle continues. And each year, you know, you got to try to do a little better than you did last year, or significantly better than you did last year, especially when you're at the real early beginning stages of business, like where I've been the last several years. It's not hard to have a large leap in your personal growth and in your business growth, because you're just at such a small scale to begin with. And I mean, I'm talking to myself personally when I talk like this, and you know, it wasn't hard for me to go from, you know, to double growth. It wasn't hard for me to gain a bunch of clients. It wasn't. It seemed overwhelming in the beginning to, and a bunch is relative, and a large amount of growth is relative. You know, it's different for everybody. But what I'm saying is that what I thought was going to be a lot, and I was like, oh, I wish I could, you know, get there. It came and went real fast, and now it's, how do I get past that and get to the next stage? What's bigger? What's my next goal? Because my goals weren't big enough, man. I wasn't thinking where I needed to be. I was just thinking, how do I replace an income? Now I'm thinking, how do I grow a business? So just something to keep in mind. looking beautiful. I've already got leaves blowing in from the neighbor's yard and falling from the trees. That's okay. First couple services, that's how it's gonna be, man. They're not all down yet, but it looks significantly better. See what I mean? That's lots better, right? I mean, up here it didn't look bad because it was all maple leaves, but in the back there were a lot of leaves. And yeah, I'm watching them drop out of the tree as I'm walking back. So there's gonna be some on the ground already. I'm not too worried about it. Gonna come back next week. So yeah, there's a few there, but there's a whole lot more coming. Man, that is a big oak. Look at this one. It's just as big, and it hasn't even started dropping yet. Woo! It's like money falling from the trees. Hey, wait. Look at this. There's 3 more right there. God, I love leaf season. This is my favorite time of the year. It cools down, you get refreshed. Leaves are kind of fun. They get a little boring, but they're fun. Now in January and February, I don't like it so much. So you'll hear me whining about that time of year. It's so cold. I don't want to do this anymore. But that's all right. That's just the way it plays out. It's like anything else in life. You get a little taste of enjoyment, and then you get put to the test, and then you realize it's not so bad. And then spring comes, and you do it all over again. Hopefully you do it better than the last year. You know what I mean? I'm out, guys. You have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.